Welcome back to Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting and give you my opinion on them. Well, hey, I'm on the road. Literally, I'm in my wife's minivan. We're traveling. I'll be back in the studio tomorrow, but got a lot of news covers, so let's get into it. MSNBC numbers were awful in the first quarter, and that's a huge problem for Comcast, Spectrum, DIRECTV, Dish, all the major providers out there. We'll break down exactly what's happening with that in a minute. Also, the CEO of CBS News has stepped down over differences with the board. Paramount and CBS seem to be at odds with what to do with its news department. We'll break that down. Also, the Roku channel is getting more free content. We'll tell you what it is and more here in a quick second. First, though, I'll put a link to every story down in the show notes and in the first pinned comment so you can read it for yourself and come up with your own opinion. You can find it there. If you like what we do, and I do apologize about the video quality, audio quality, I'm recording this on my phone today, but if you like what we do here, post videos like this every day, click that subscribe button or hit that thumbs up. Doing one or both lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. All right, let's dive into it. MSNBC, their numbers were bad, really bad in the first quarter, dropping 18% in prime time from the year before to just barely over 1 million with 1.02 million viewers. We also saw other big drops, including a 24% viewership drop in total daily viewers, averaging just 629 during daytime. 629,000, I apologize to be clear. The numbers aren't big here, or real important. The big thing here is that it's a continued drop in viewership of MSNBC, which is a problem because news is one of the two things people traditionally still pay for cable TV for. When people are continuing to find reasons to pay for Comcast and Spectrum and DirecTV and Dish and the like, sports is number one, news is number two. And with this size of a drop, that's huge because now they're not just losing, people who would go to Disney Plus for other entertainment on demand stuff or Peacock. They're losing people who watch news. And increasingly, that's because people are not getting their news from cable television sources. They're going to things like YouTube, like right here, channels like mine, who cover news and more. Blogs, podcasts, social media are increasingly becoming how people get their news. Not just for news, but for sports also with that. Why? Because increasingly people are finding news that just interests them and they can get specific news on a topic they're interested in without needing to watch a talking head for an hour talk about the same thing. Huge problem for Comcast, Spectrum, and other cable TV providers. Because if they lose news viewers, there's really not a lot left, especially with sports now becoming widely available through ESPN's streaming service launching this year. Fox has got one and more. The need for cable TV without news is not much, to be honest with you, anymore. All right, let's keep moving along. Speaking of news, the CEO of CBS, Wendy McMahon, I apologize if I butchered that name, has announced that they are going and shutting down or resigning from CBS News. This comes as the board apparently put pressure on Wendy to step down. And while the official news story here is that they're doing that because she wanted to, it seems, according to some reports, that that's actually being forced out. That the board's been unhappy specifically with CBS's 60 Minutes news programming, but also with other aspects of the news. This seems to come as Paramount is struggling to find a voice. Ratings are dropping across the board, including for things like CBS and other Paramount properties. And it seems like CBS News is losing the battle to other companies out there. Like I said, increasingly, news is not what people are watching on TV anymore. And not just with MSNBC, but with CBS and local newses also are struggling with this. Look for a big impact on that for cable television. It'll be interesting to see who permanently replaces that role and what kind of changes are going to come to CBS News. CBS has actually been one of the more forward-thinking. Their CBS 24/7 news stream was kind of groundbreaking when it first rolled out. Now, pretty much everybody has that. All right, next story up. The Roku channel to add more wrestling content with WOW and NWA and more now coming to the Roku channel in a partnership with Paramount. This comes as Paramount's been striking a deal to bring more of its free content to more places. And with this, the Roku channel's adding more wrestling. which has been very popular, but increasingly available on streaming. Different wrestling organizations are ditching cable with different partnerships from Netflix to Peacock to now the Roku channel to bring their content streaming to cord cutters. All right, if you've been looking for a new Google TV device, the new Walmart On 4K Plus streaming device is now available with it. It's priced at $29.88. This is a 4K streaming player with a quad-core processor, 2 gigabytes of RAM, 16 gigabytes of storage, Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos. Kind of disappointing the Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi AX, which is not bad, but there's newer, better Wi-Fis, but at the price is not bad. Does come with many other features, but Google TV OS running on it. If you're looking for a powerful, cheap Google TV device, it's not a bad deal. Now available and shipping from Walmart stores. We've been talking about this for a while. It's been appearing randomly in local Walmart stores, but now it's available on the website officially and for sale officially. All right. Some popular kid shows have been saved in the case of Sesame Street and shipped in places in the case of Peppa Pig. Netflix has gone on a buying spree for kids-friendly content. Now, for some time, Sesame Street has been airing on Max, the streaming service, but Max has been moving away from kids-only focused content. They got rid of a lot of their own catalog, including Looney Tunes, and they announced they would not renew their partnership with Sesame Street to keep it on Max. Now, there was a lot of question if Sesame Street would find a new partner, and now it has. Netflix will be the new home starting later this year for the content. It will be same day on PBS and PBS Kids stations and digital platforms, and a streaming on Netflix. So it will continue to air on local PBS stations, but it will now also be available on Netflix. With this, I believe also Peppa Pig, well, I don't have the full details in front of me, will also be coming to Netflix with this. So check that out. Link in the show notes if you want to find out more. But very great to see Sesame Street have a new home. And it's been one of the more successful shows for PBS, to the point where Max struck a deal with it, and now Netflix struck a deal with it to give it life outside of PBS. Now, there was serious, real concerns that the PBS and Sesame Street would not be able to continue if it didn't find a new partner to help fund it. Now it seems it has with Netflix. All right, and in today in TV news, one that's probably going to make you feel a little bit old, but Murder, She Wrote came to an end 29 years ago this week. On May 19th, 1996, CBS aired the final Murder, She Wrote, a phenomenal series that for 12 years ran on CBS. It was widely acclaimed. It's now widely available on Amazon Prime Video. If you're a Prime Video subscriber, it's there for free with it. But 29 years ago, CBS, I'm sorry, I've been driving for 11 hours. I apologize. Aired the final episode of Murder, She Wrote. Any fans here? Leave me a comment. Let me know. Well, that's it for today. I hope you all have a great day. Short video. A few things here. We do have a free newsletter. If you check out the show notes, you can find a link to the there where you can sign up for our daily newsletter, where every morning you can get an email with all of our stories there. You can also find in our list there our Facebook page and group and other social media options where you can follow along, get breaking news as it happens. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for your support. Sorry about the makeshift atmosphere here. We'll be back in the studio tomorrow.